got some news for the Swansea City soccer team. They have decided that they are going to be boycotting social media platforms for 1 week after there's been experiences within their team of racist and online abuse towards them. So they decided as a team that they will not be using any social media platforms for a week to boycott social media abuse on obviously like cyberbullying and like all the racist comments that they've been getting. Um, and this is also including the Swansea female soccer team. And they did come out with a quote, and I'm gonna read this right now. They said, and I quote: "As a football club, we have several of our players subjected to abortion abuse in the past 7 weeks alone, and we feel it is right to take a stand against behavior that is a blight of our sport and society at large. We will always be unwavering in our support of our players, staff, supporters, and the community that we proudly represent, and we are united as a club on this issue. We also want to stand with players from other clubs who have endured vile discrimination on social media platforms." This statement added was from the club chief executive Julian Winter. He sent a letter to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey and Facebook chairman Mark Zuckerberg to reiterate the need for the companies to do more in the fight against online abuse, in the words of ESPN. And Swansea players Jamal Lowe, Jan Donda, and Ben Kabango have all been sent online racist abuse this season, along with other Premier League and Women's Super League footballers. And the source of this was ESPN. So you know what, Nate? We have a guest today. We got Lee coming in today. So let's have Lee start first. Your thoughts on Swansea boycotting social media?
I think this is a good step in not only, spreading awareness, but improving their own mental health as well. Because no matter who you are in this generation and day and age, there's not enough um there's not enough positivity in this world. It seems like we're getting bombarded all the time. And it's good to spread the message out there and hopefully it catches wind. Hopefully the CEOs of these major social media companies, Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, catches wind and helps improve the platform for more open and palatable discussions.
Right. Your thoughts, Nate?
Well, first of all, good for them, and I something a lot of people mention, but I feel like I should mention on camera. It's gonna sound a little bit ironic, but the media is a center point to a lot of the world's problems. It's just the truth. You can't deny that. A lot of the stuff that happens, like the racism stuff, like the media is a center place that a lot of people use the media to promote that kind of stuff, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Media is used for a lot of bad things too, So like for them to boycott social media, I think that's a pretty good idea. Me personally, that's something I would do as well, especially given all the world's problems with racism and all that stuff. The media just doesn't like how do I put it? Because it's fun. I say it's ironic because me and Mario, we do the sports channel and we're technically considered the media, but in a different sense. You know what I mean? Like other people use, like I said, social media to promote the racism. Others use it to promote politics and voting and all that type of stuff. But honestly, while some of it's good, believe it or not, the media can just cause so many problems, and this is just one of them. It's as simple as that. You can't deny that. So for them to boycott social media, I think that's a really good idea. It's something that I would do, especially if I'm being given racist threats and all that stuff. I know Lee's definitely a black person. I'm a man of color myself. So me taking racist comments wouldn't be so light for us. You know what I mean? And all the black people can speak on our behalf as well. So with that being said, I tip the cap to Swansea City for doing this. It's definitely a very good idea, and it's definitely something that we would do as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. First off, tip my cap to Swansea for boycotting social media for a week. Yeah, Nate. See, obviously this problem was not a problem before like I want to say like what 2010, like around 2010, and from there on or whatever. Like let's go a little bit further, like 2012.
Yeah.
It started when like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all these other platforms started coming out. In sports, that was not a problem because before not many people use social media that much, so it wasn't really a problem like getting cyberbullied or whatever. Was it still happening? Yeah, on occasions, I bet it was. You were probably some players were probably receiving emails or whatever. If they were going to receive the type of threats that they were, it was going to be through notes or letters or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was happening. But as for social media, this wasn't a problem until I want to say 2010 and on. Now, social media, let me tell you something, Nate, it has been a problem for so long. And it's not really a surprise that social media, because of social media, more people are starting to get into trouble. It's not a
Extremely
surprise.
toxic
Like
place.
like like Kevin Durant and Michael Rappaport, that situation that happened not too long ago or a few days ago, that's a perfect example of it. You know?
Randy Orton and
That
Soldier Boy going at it on Twitter too is another example.
right. Like I mean but like that types of situations, those I don't think would have happened back in the early days. I don't think it would have happened. So obviously social media, it's good and it's bad at the same time, because social media is a way to get news a lot more quicker than what you would have gotten in your paper or what you would have gotten on the radio. Absolutely. Also, social media is a tool that could also negatively affect other people. You send out the wrong news that negatively affects someone. And where obviously, like like we get our like the people who get their information mixed up, but like it just can't happen. And hey, look, we were one of them. We got one topic mixed up one day. And we got a lot of backlash for it, which that we apologize. But that's an example of social media in a negative way. And not only that, you use social media, and then obviously everybody has their different opinions, which is so great about this country. But the problem is social media ends up turning it into a way for people to argue even more. You
And
know,
manipulate
like
others.
for instance, this guy from California is not going to be arguing with this dude from Florida if this was 20 years ago in real life. Why? Because they're on two different sides of the country. Now, a guy from California can argue with a guy from Florida with just their thumbs, you know? So social media has been a big problem. And honestly, like you hear about people getting death threats, and you hear about people getting racist comments and stuff. It shouldn't be happening, you know? Like there's been many instances this year, Nate, when social media has exposed people for doing negative things. Many instances. So I mean, I really do, commend Swansea, because their players have been affected by it, and especially other players from other teams. Maybe this will be a trend in the soccer world, and from there, because soccer is such a global sport, maybe it'll kind of translate to the other professional sports in North America, like baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Maybe all of those will start taking notes and realize, like, look, if we protest social media right here, we could possibly end up proving something. But like, let me be honest with you, Nate. I'm glad that they're protesting it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. As sad as this is, it's just the truth. There is no way to stop it.
It's
There's
just
no
going to
way to stop
continue.
social, because there's always gonna be that one person that's gonna say something negative. There's always gonna be that one person that makes a death threat. One person that what do you call it, ends up like coming at somebody's like career. There's always gonna be that. So there's no way to stop it. You can boycott it, but there's no way to stop it. I do commend them for boycotting it though, because I don't think it's right for their players to be getting treated like this, on social media, and just continue to be treated like this on social media. It's just not acceptable. So, with that being said, to all the people who have experienced death threats and racial comments in the soccer league and in general, I'm sorry that this type of stuff is happening to you. It shouldn't be happening at all. I wish the Swansea football team, the men and the women, the best of luck, and I hope that they are successful with their boycott and accomplishing what they want to accomplish.